I'm an adult, and you don't know how to be an adult.
No, you're just stupid. Just call yourself stupid.
But I'm the adult. Oh, you're having a temper tantrum now?
Bullshit. I mean, are you kidding me? Like, he's telling you the truth.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to our Week 11, don't look at the title of this, Survivor Recap, where John is not here, but don't worry, we have filled his space quite nicely. But you guys know the deal. You can follow me over on Twitter. I'm at Reality Recaps, and who's here with me?
Hi, everybody. I'm Melissa. I'm at the Dolphin Poet on Twitter. You can follow me. Please do, and check out my Survivor blogs. And I blog about the Amazing Race. Definitely read those. And you should probably have a good time reading them, because I try to make them really funny.
Hey guys, this is Steve DiCarlo from Opposite Worlds, trying to still live up the reality fame. You can follow me at OW Steve DiCarlo. I talk about Survivor, Big Brother all the time, so follow me. Thanks.
And you guys should follow him. We do put the stuff Steve does on the website. I have a feeling Steve will be joining us for Big Brother this season as well, a lot more. And Steve, you latch on to that reality fame. You deserve it. And I say Opposite Worlds is coming back. And you know what else is coming back? Amazon, for all of your shopping needs. So if you guys have any shopping to do, click on that link in our sidebar. You don't pay any more. It really helps us out. Also, thumbs up and subscribe to this YouTube channel. That's a great way to help us out, too. But, most importantly, check out our Patreon campaign. It gives you access to exclusive shows, content, prizes, and everything. All of that's in the sidebar on the website. But I have two more special announcements to make. And number one is, yay for Dana, our Bravo, or our Big Brother Canada blogger. I mean, bravo, Dana, is what I meant to say. She is going to be at the Big Brother Canada 2 finale tonight. She's going to be blogging about it tomorrow. She'll have all the details on that. And then, as if this live show wasn't good enough for you, Melissa, what is happening later tonight?
Well, John and I are going to sit down with my friend Dylan. He's at 8BitHomo on Twitter, because he's doing some really cool stuff, and I think he's awesome, and I just wanted to get him on one of our shows to talk about it, because he loves Survivor, he loves Big Brother, and he's doing kind of a Survivor-themed thing all summer, but I'll have to tune out to figure out what that's all about. Or tune in tonight.
Tune in. Don't tune out. Tune in to find out what it's about.
Tune in.
or no, we can't even recap for you. And John's going to have some special announcements on that show, too, so you're not going to want to miss it. But let's talk about what you guys are all here to see, and that is Survivor recapping by all of us. And if you guys want to comment, have any questions for us, you can do so in the comment section below on YouTube or on the website. We'll throw them on the screen, and we'll answer your questions. But let's not at all any of us bury the lead. I feel we need to start right off with our hatred for Cass. I'm going to give it to you first, Steve.
Cass is the worst person I've ever experienced on a Survivor show, where I just feel like she is like this overthinking genius, where she's like, oh, we're going to make this plan, but then I'm going to back out last second because I like being Chaos Cass. No, you're just stupid. Just call yourself stupid, Cass. Just get it over with. She always changes her mind at the last second. She thinks she's this evil mastermind. She just annoys the crap out of me, and she's so old, and she acts like a baby all the damn time. Anytime anyone insults her, she's like, oh, I'm going to get you out next. No, Cass, use your brain. Ugh, can't stand her.
And she's like, I'll throw it to you 1 second, Melissa. And she's like she's like that really annoying person when you're having the argument where she's acting like the child, but is like, I'm an adult. And you don't know how to be an adult, but I'm the adult. Oh, you're having a temper tantrum now while she's having the temper tantrum. I'm glad you could rein it in there for a second, Cass. Okay, and to that point, yeah, you're so smart, Cass, but should I throw it back to the 2 weeks ago now? Spencer found the idol in front of you. Like, he's right here finding the idol, and you didn't notice, so you're stupid. Go ahead, Melissa.
Oh, well, I think for a lawyer, she sure can't tell when people are lying to her. I mean, it all goes back to Sarah, who I really miss. I wish Sarah was still in this game. because I think she'd be doing a really good job, and she wouldn't put up with Tony's bullshit. I mean, are you kidding me? Like, he's telling you the truth, Cass, and you're not seeing it, and so is Sarah. So I don't know how good of a lawyer she is, but probably not a good one.
She's no JR, that's for sure. And it keeps right in line. JR is the only lawyer I have ever liked on TV or otherwise. Cass is living up to the horrible reputation. And I love how she's like, Tony's so condescending. Tony's so condescending. At least he's condescending to your face. How many of these survivors are probably shocked watching her confessionals to see all the shit she is talking about that? So, I don't know what's going on with Cass. What did you guys think of that exchange coming back from Tribal, how we started the episode, where Tony and her are kind of going at it? And what are your thoughts on it? Just the same, don't really like Cass at all, Melissa?
I mean, that... Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Steve.
I feel like she was justified there, just because, like... Cass was supposed to be on his side, and that was a bit of a blind side. They didn't know that was coming, and Tony keeps backing against his original alliance, and then going to them and being like, no, guys, it's fine. I messed with you guys this week, but go with me again this week. So, like, Tony keeps, like, flip-flopping, and that was the one time I'm like, okay, I can stand Cass's bitching for this 10 seconds. The next 10 seconds couldn't handle her again, but for that little conversation, I'm like, okay, Cass is a little bit justified.
Yeah, I think she's justified then. Not so much in the morning. Not so much in the morning when she thought she heard Tony talking about her. But brilliant gameplay on Spencer. He's like, I'm not clearing this up. You just go ahead and think he said whatever you think he said. And that is Tony's downfall in this game, is he's going to have to work so hard to prove anything when he's telling the truth. It's kind of why I feel like he deserves a win, but I don't want him at all to win. But what did you guys think of the next morning with the whole Cass overhearing Tony and all of that? Go ahead, Melissa.
Well, I think it just goes right back to what Steve said. Like she's a flip-flopper, and she just doesn't... Well, Tony, granted, he has lied so much, it's hard to tell when he's telling the truth, but if you're a good lawyer, you should know when people are telling the truth or not. It's easy to read people. Direct eye contact, body language, not hard to do. She was just on her little soapbox, wanting to be Chaos Cass, and, you know, I really thought she was going to go home this episode because of all that.
I did not at all think. What did you think, Steve?
I definitely didn't think she was going home. I just thought it was just really funny. Like, I could see that exact scenario happening in middle school, where you're like, you're lying awake and like, oh, this person called me a bitch. Everyone, wake up! Are you awake? He called me a bitch. And she's like, it's just like, Cass, you just listen to the conversation yourself. You don't need to wake up everyone else in the freaking tent and like, guys, he's talking about me. Shut up! Get over it. Either go out and confront him or just listen to the conversation. It was just, she's so like childish that I was just like, okay, Cass, that's enough. Calm down.
Yeah, I liked it a little bit. Well, I like anything that gets the target off my Spencer, number one. And I loved that he wasn't clearing it up. What I want to know, and I still have not gotten the answer to, is Spencer and Tasha purposely working together? I still want to know, because they make it seem like maybe they're not, but how could they? That would be so stupid if they weren't. What do you think, Melissa?
I mean, they have to be. They have to be, and they're just probably not showing us because it's obvious that they're working together. Because, you know, Spencer's always talking about him and Tasha, but I mean, who really knows? I mean, we don't really know, but it seems like it.
I say it based on their confessionals, because Tasha is never really saying, oh, this is going to save Spencer and I. She always says, this can save me. And Spencer is like, this can save me. And normally when you're working with someone in your confessionals, you're kind of like, ooh, this is going to get us further. But maybe just because they haven't had that storyline, I just think it'd be crazy for them not to be working together.
Yeah, I agree that, like, I think it's sort of like an unspoken thing where they know that they don't have the numbers, so it's sort of a forced alliance between them. I don't think it's anything intentional. Maybe they're not like the closest of friends, but I think Spencer and Tasha both know that they need each other to go farther. And like watching Spencer talk on Twitter, he's always saying like the two of them are working together, Team Spencer or whatever he's tweeting. So it does seem like Spencer is aware that like him and Tasha are sort of aligned, even if they don't realize that they like should be.
Right.
Like, it's just inevitable.
Right. I am just representing the stupid viewer who wants it spelled out for me. And Survivor, you spell out a lot of pretty stupid stuff that doesn't need to spell out. I would like that. I just want to know intentionally you guys are making these plans. It's not just accidentally falling in your lap each week. But speaking of things falling in laps, let's talk about that reward challenge in what I thought was kind of cool. Even though I didn't understand it, I actually had to watch it back. I didn't get the premise of you were knocking the blocks off and then you stopped and had to rebuild. Now I got it. The point is, if you would have got it done quick enough, most of your thing would have been still left there. It just didn't make sense to me at the moment. But did you guys like the reward challenge? Do we like the comeback of Team Spencer there? What did you think of the reward challenge? Go ahead, Steve.
I thought it was really cool that, like, in the end, it ended up being brains versus brains with Spencer versus Tasha. That was really cool, and the fact that Tasha had such a huge lead, and Spencer ended up working with Cass extremely well to catch up. I thought it was a cool thing to watch. The first half was stupid, the knocking down the blocks, because pretty much everyone was doing it. If Cass is able to knock down a block, then it's obviously not that difficult of a challenge. So it all ended up being the puzzle anyway, and the fact that Spencer won over Tasha, who was like a competition queen, that was pretty cool.
To be fair, Cass could have just insulted the blocks off the bench. She should have just been like, you've been blocks. What did you think of the reward challenge, Melissa?
Oh, it was fun. I mean, they've kind of done it before, but I did like the fact that they had the puzzle part at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was exciting, and it was really cool to see Tasha and Spencer, like, Team Brain going up against each other. I thought that was really cool, too.
Definitely. And I liked the reward. The reward was for them to go into, like, the local community. It was the Philippines, right? Because it was Filipino children. And be ambassadors for Survivor. I didn't like that Spencer called the Filipino children little monsters. But it was... I did give him credit for being like, and I hate children. Because most people on television would be like, oh, the kids were so precious. Spencer's like, no, I hate those little monsters. But I liked seeing Wu. I completely agree with Cass. I like seeing this different side of Wu. What did you guys think of the whole...
I knew Wu had that side of him. I'm going to jump in because you know I'm Team Wu. But I knew Wu was such a great guy from the beginning. So, yeah, it was really nice to see him be so good with the kids. Like, he really had fun with those kids. And I really think they should do that reward every season on Survivor to give back to the people that host their islands. Like, I don't know why they don't do it every season. It's a great reward.
It is. It's the least they can do. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, I definitely think it's a really good reward to do every season. But I have to say, I give credit to Spencer for calling them little monsters, yet still being extremely likable. Where, like, I feel like if Cass had said that, I'd be like, oh, you bitch. But somehow Spencer saying that he hates kids, it's like, oh, it's okay, it's Spencer. But yeah, if Cass had said it, I would have been so pissed off. And thank God Trish didn't win that reward, because if they saw Trish, it's a Skeletor woman helping these children, the kids would have been like, no, the kids would have been like, no, you take it.
You need it more than we do.
Right, exactly. And I by no means, I'm totally kidding. I don't think Spencer meant it at all. I think Spencer was just being funny. But yeah, I definitely like seeing that side of Wu, totally. And we kind of see the formation here of, like, this final three pact between Wu and Spencer and Cass. Now, at this point, and I don't think we need to spoil, I mean, it doesn't matter if we spoil, were you believing that final three pact at this point? Because I kind of was. I really thought Wu was going to stick with it, even as they're walking back and he's coming up with the lie and telling Cass, and he tries to lie to Tony, but he has the worst poker face ever. So I'll start with that. Did you guys think that at this point Wu's intention was really to do this final three plan, Melissa?
I do, because, I mean, if you want to fast forward a little bit, it wasn't Wu that changed his mind. And I was totally rooting for that alliance, because Tasha and Spencer need to hook up with Cass and Wu to get Tony and Trish out of there if they want to win at all. So I really thought they would.
I definitely agree. I feel like Wu was going to stick to it. I think that, like, Wu, he's aware that right now it seems like he's being just Tony's puppet, and I think Wu was finally ready to make that big move where he doesn't seem like he's such a non-issue. He was like willing to actually make a difference in this game, and getting rid of Tony is sort of the only thing that can do that for him, because if he's with Tony in the end, there's no way Wu stands a chance because Tony has done all the big things. Wu's always just been the tag-along, where Wu needed that alliance, and Cass switching just kind of screwed it over, and he had no choice but to switch himself.
Do you agree with me, Steve? I said there is no way, there's nobody who beats Tony in the end. Do you think that there's anybody that could beat Tony in the end?
I think the best person that stands the best chance is probably Spencer, just because Spencer was on the worst team. He had to get through elimination every single week, and it was with a bunch of girls, and all those girls could have just teamed up against him. Spencer got through the Brains tribe, then he's made it where he hasn't had the numbers since the merge, and Spencer's just been on the outs every single time, and he's won immunity when he's needed it. His partner has won immunity. Spencer's done everything that he possibly could to make it farther, and I think that outside of getting all these immunity idols like Tony has, I think Spencer has done the most.
That's definitely a good point. I want Spencer to win, and I also am not taking into account this jury, which we can get more to, which now that I think about it with the Morgans and the other one that Tony screwed over, I always forget her name, you're right, I'm not so sure they're going to be giving this one to Tony, so that's interesting to think about. But now, so like you said, fast forward where it's not really Wu that changes his mind. So you guys are feeling like it was Cass when who was it that said he's playing like a Russell Hand switch?
It was Cass.
Wait,
was it?
No.
Cass and Tasha. Tasha said it too.
Tasha said it. There you go. So Tasha said it. That apparently rung the bell in Cass's head that, oh, I should keep him around. I don't know that I really believe that she was doing that. Go ahead, Melissa.
Oh, Spencer told everybody, and so did Tasha, you take Tony to the end, I'm voting for him.
That's true.
Cass's whole thing with they're not going to vote for the person they don't like, well, I think everybody's pretty much going to respect his gameplay given what Spencer said at that tribal council. I mean, come on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point.
I definitely think it's she's trying to be all smart about I should take the most hated person to the end. You're also taking the person who's single-handedly responsible for pretty much every jury member being there. So I just feel like if she's a fan of the game, she should know that yes, people are going to hate him, but there's also Survivor fans in that jury, and they're not going to take it so personally. I'd hope not, at least.
Right.
I think Morgan's gonna take it personally.
And Jeffra.
And Jeffra's gonna take it personal. This is what I'm saying. This jury. Okay, I hate to say it. I think all the girls on the jury are gonna take it personally. And right now, the girls are outnumbering the guys, right? So I don't know that Tony could win with that jury the way it is right now. So yeah, Wu is talking to Tony. He kind of lies right to his face. Horrible poker face. Again, we don't actually see Tony telling us he's not falling for it. We just kind of have the voiceover of Tony being like, I'm not buying this. It clicked to me that he must be lying. So whenever Survivor does that, you don't actually see the person saying it right away. It's always like, I don't really know how much of what they want us to believe is real. So I was kind of, at that point is what I'm saying. I still was thinking, oh God, please let this work. But then we go over to our immunity challenge, which I loved. It was a very Big Brother kind of, sort of, immunity challenge where you had to count the stuff around the corner and then come back and get your little numbers right to unlock it. Why was that so hard? Any theories, Melissa?
25 minutes? Is that what it said? 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
How's that possible?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Like, you guys must have been really hungry or really tired. I mean, the wheel could have only have had, 10 sides to it? So you could have only had, 10 choices of numbers to pick. So just count and go slow. I don't know what I'm missing on this challenge. What did you think of it, Steve?
No, I definitely agree that it's got to be the starvation effect or something, because you'd think that like in 25 minutes, I literally could have walked to each thing just one at a time, counted them, walked back. Like these guys are sprinting back and forth trying to remember all 6 at a time, and it takes 25 minutes. Where I just feel like if someone just like was calm and just slowly went at it, they would have like done it in that at most 10 minutes. So it's just really weird seeing that clock and be like, oh, we're at minute 25. This is like, holy crap, these people they're losing it.
Yeah, and I like that they made them go back, because as we know, there are some Survivor challenges where you can just keep trying, because that would have been the first thing I would have done. I would have been like, I'm just going to stay right here, and 25 pulled, nope, next one. So I do like that they made them run back for it, and it was a different type of a Survivor challenge that I haven't seen in a while.
I was definitely glad that they had to run back, because in Opposite Worlds, the challenge that sort of got me eliminated was the sarcophagus thing, where these people had to spin these wheels, and they allowed people to just keep spinning until Lizette was just opening the case each time. So she wasn't waiting for her team to help her out with clues. She was just spinning and figuring it out entirely on her own. So the fact that they had people running back was finally like, okay, they're not trying to rig the competition or anything. They're trying to make sure it's fair for everyone. So I was really happy to see that.
Yeah, I definitely like when they try and at least keep it honest. I think Survivor is really good about making sure that all the challenges are done really fairly. They should just put those standards on some of their other CBS shows. So, Pandora's Box, that's fake. Okay, so it came down, or they were trying to make it seem like it was down between Tasha, Spencer, and Tony, although they did it a few times where they were like, oh my god, and Cass is gonna get it, and no. But it was Spencer. It was Spencer that got it. I was thrilled that Spencer got it. Anything that protects Spencer, I am all for. And then we kind of see a little bit of the scrambling now as we are heading into Tribal, where we said Cass is kind of talking to Wu, should we keep him around? And then going into Tribal, but here's the thing, and you guys will have to explain this one to me now. So I thought they were splitting the vote 3-3, right? Wasn't that the plan? Girls were voting for Natasha, Trish, and the guys were voting for Tony. So who didn't vote then? Nobody went along with the plan but Spencer, right? That's the moral of the story. Only Spencer voted for Tony?
Tasha also did.
Tasha and Spencer, right. Okay.
Yeah, Tasha voted for Trish, Spencer voted for Tony, and then the other two flipped and both voted for Tasha.
Interesting. And I'm sure Melissa will be right back. I think she just got frozen, but she'll come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it could have been. Hi, welcome back, Melissa.
Sorry, the internet's been really weird here today.
Yeah, that's okay. It's all stormy weather. It's good. So we were saying how it was only Spencer and Tasha, Melissa, who stuck with the original plan. So then, are we just all in agreement that Cass sold Tony, not Tony, Wu, on we need to keep Tony around? And do we think then Tony made it to Final 3?
Yeah,
well, I mean,
yeah.
Sorry, Steve, go ahead.
I think Cass sort of like Cass in flipping, Wu had no choice but to flip as well, because then it would have been a 3-way split, and it just wouldn't have worked out the same way. Where like Wu realized that the best thing for him to do if Cass was flipping was to stick with her, to make it seem like he's still aligned with Tony. I wish that he didn't do that, just because if he didn't flip, Tony probably would have ended up playing at least one of the idols. And so it's just sort of irritating to me that, like, yeah, Wu did the safe move, and it might have been best for him, but it definitely wasn't best for everyone overall, where now Tony is definitely Final Four.
Definitely.
And there's nothing they can do. So I wish one of them just stayed with the plan, and I'm really pissed at Cass for screwing that up.
Oh, I am too! I called her a hoe.
Is she on
hoe?
Is she tweeting a lot this season? I don't follow her, so I don't see.
I refuse to follow her. Like, she probably is saying, like, insightful things and explanations, but I just don't want to hear it. I just want to hate her because she pisses me off so damn much.
Exactly. I completely agree with the with the cast assessment. So I mean, yes, I think Tony. I feel like production wants him to play this special idol. So I really thought, I think I said last week, there's no way this isn't going to happen this week because production wants the drama of this to finally play out and happen. So much so that I was convinced that they would be saying, like, okay, Woo, so let's do your confessional. So you really are going to let Tony stay around? Really? You know, like, I really thought they would push it towards this happening, so we'd have to play that idol. Because now next week is it, right? Like, if he doesn't play it next week, it's over.
I think so. Like, you can't play your idol to go to the final 3.
No, I don't think you can.
But what's been confusing me is they haven't said at any point, like, you can't use these past week 5. Or past final 5. Yeah, that's always been like the sort of idea is that you can't use it past final 5, but they haven't said that about the new special idol, which makes me worried. If he's able to use it to get to final 3, that's complete bullshit.
Oh, I agree.
Hopefully they're gonna clarify that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he needs to use it next week.
Yeah, I think it would be so ridiculous if he can get to final 3, because 2 and 3 win money, right? Like, I don't know if we're supposed to really be allowed to say that, but sure, you win $1 million if you come in first, but second and third also get a lot of money too. Not $1 million a lot, but I think they get a lot. So that would not be fair if he got to play it for that. I definitely think Tony is great entertainment value. I do love what he's bringing to the table, but not if production is purposely giving it to him for that reason. Which, again, I don't understand how just in a jungle you're like, oh, I'm just going to dig here, and I found an idol. Still to this day makes no sense. We'll find out that that was somehow given away to him later on, I'm sure, when he's allowed to talk about it. So who right now, I already know for you, Melissa, but I will let you plead his case again. Who are you saying you want to win? Or I should just say Tasha went out. Tribal, gone. They didn't stick to the plan. Tasha's gone. So now, who do you think is going to win it all, Melissa?
Well, honestly, I think Tony's going to win it. Like, well, I put it on Twitter. I was like, everybody congratulate Tony. He's the sole survivor of Survivor 28 Cagayan. Like, I really think he's got it in the bag. Unless Cass will get back with Spencer and Woo, get Trish out at the next tribal, because that's pretty much their only option is to, like, they have to just vote for Trish. And if Tony can't use his idol, they can all fight for it in the final 4. You know what I mean? But I really do think it's between Tony, Woo, and Spencer at this point, because I think Spencer has a really good shot at it. But I still like my Woo.
I still like Woo, too. I think he has 0 chance to win, but I like him. But Steve is honestly now changing my mind a little bit on Tony winning this. I really thought there was no way he couldn't win, but you made a really good case for Spencer. So is Spencer who you're saying, Steve, for the win?
It's hard. I feel like Spencer is the person who has the best chance against Tony, but I think Spencer has a really low chance of getting past next week, because if Tony gives his idol to whoever he wants and then plays his special idol if people still vote for him, he gets to choose 2 of the 4 people in the final 4. And Tony definitely wouldn't help Spencer out. So if Cass and Woo align to get Spencer out, they have a really easy way of doing it. All Tony has to do is give 1 idol to Trish, use his special idol on himself, and Spencer's gone. I feel like Cass definitely knows that Spencer's a big threat, and Cass knows that she can't get Tony out next week. So I'd say Spencer's got the biggest target on his back for next week, and I think he's got a really hard way like getting past it. I do think Spencer's my pick other than Tony, but I'm not sure Spencer can even make it past next week. He's going to use both idols, and I just think that Spencer's gone.
Yeah, Spencer needs immunity. If ever he needs immunity, he needs it this next week. I don't know. Psychologically, I feel like Spencer makes it into the final 3. Like, based on his Twitter presence and how excited he is about this season, I think if he would have got cut at 4, he would have been much more bitter watching all this back. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, Spencer will make it into final 3. Plus, if we're going on that edit, not that that means much, we see Trish has turned her Skeletor face towards Cass this week, and now they're fighting for the.
I think that's the best case scenario. Is Cass keeps being a bitch, pisses everyone off, and everyone just unites to get Cass out. I think other than getting immunity, that's the only way Spencer survives next week. So hopefully Cass just keeps up her charming personality and just takes everyone else off. Definitely fingers crossed for that. And if that happens, then yeah, my vote's for Spencer. But I think Tony is probably the odds-on favorite right now.
Yeah, I definitely think Tony is as well. Steve, is there, I think we asked you this last time that you were on, but is there any challenges this season of Survivor that you were like, oh my god, I wish I could have played in a challenge like that on Opposite Worlds?
Oh, definitely, the freaking memory one. I feel like all the people in the past were really sort of mentally off because of the cave diet. And it never bothered me. I never had any problem living in the past. So I feel like if there's that sort of challenge, we're just running back and forth, trying to remember things. I'm fast. I could have outran the majority of the people on the future side. And I was mentally more stable than the people on the past side. So I feel like I definitely would have excelled in that sort of challenge. I loved it a lot. And I definitely don't think it would have taken me 25 minutes.
No, I definitely don't think it would have taken 25 minutes. None as far as, like, I get that one you would have been really good at. None where you're just like, oh my god, that would have been super fun to compete in or be a part of, you know.
I think I like, just for fun, I would have liked to do the auction. I just think the Survivor auctions are a pretty cool thing where, like, it does suck that, like, the weaker players are rewarded with food as the better players are all, like, try to get the last final thing that costs the most money. But I just think the concept of an auction is really fun. I definitely enjoy being a part of that.
Yeah, I would definitely. I think auction is far and away the best part of Survivor. Is there anything from this season that you want to talk about, Steve? Because I know that that you're recapping it on the website, but we have you on now. So is there just like any points aside from a hating cast that you want to make before we wrap it all up?
I'd say just that I think that your boy Wu, I just think that the only way that he would stand a chance would be if he was with Cass and Trish at the end. Just because I feel like Cass is so hated and Trish really she's barely there, like physically and like in terms of gameplay. So I just feel like Wu's only chance is aligning with them, and I don't think he's smart enough to do that. So I just wanted to bring that up for Melissa, who disappeared already.
Yeah, I know. She's clearly having a problem. We'll ask her when she comes back. Go ahead.
Yeah, but yeah. I just don't think like Wu is figuring out who his final three should be, because there's a lot of people who have done a lot more than Wu, and I just feel like Cass is so hated and Trish is such a non-issue that that's his best option. And I was curious, Melissa, what you thought like Wu's final three should be.
Well, he should probably take Trish, to be honest with you. Yeah. And maybe Cass. He could win with Trish and Cass.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think that's the only way Wu stands a chance. And I think Cass, like, the more I was trying to think about how Cass could possibly win in the end, I don't think there's any combination of people that would work for Cass, just because she sucks as a human and she's not the best at Survivor. So,
no.
So, yeah.
I honestly think we could have, like, the torch and, like, the bag of rice and Cass, and, like, the torch would win. I don't see anybody that Cass is beating in the end. But a great point to bring her along, which might be why Tony does not want to get her out this week.
Tony totally wants to take those two girls with him. He doesn't want to take Spencer and Wu. Like, it'll be Spencer and then Wu, and he's going to take those two girls and take it, because they aren't going to give that money to those girls. Those beauties may be bitter, but they are not going to give Cass and her that money. They're not.
Yeah, that's a good point. I completely agree with you.
Can you guys imagine if Trish goes to the end and people vote for her because she's less annoying than Tony? That would be the worst ending to Survivor in history if Trish wins this. And like every episode, I'm just like, oh crap, maybe it's gonna be like a big twist where they're not giving her much airtime because she's gonna end up being like the surprise winner, which would be the worst thing for the show. But I just keep having a bad feeling that like, oh crap, she hasn't done anything to piss anyone else off. What if she ends up taking this? So hopefully that doesn't happen.
That's a very good point. That would be kind of shocking if Cass makes it and wins. Who was the God, I can never remember her name. Who's the one where they made them pull her teeth out?
Dawn.
Dawn. There you go. Dawn Meehan. I see her a little bit like Cass. I mean, I know they are literally nothing alike, but I just think kind of edit-wise and the way people feel about Cass, she just needs some fake teeth that they make her remove or something. But I think for that reason, she is not going to win because I think once people start going to Ponderosa, they're being a lot more vocal about what Cass is doing and how she's acting on the beach. And unlike Big Brother, you're allowed to talk a lot and fill everybody in when you're in jury or Ponderosa. So I think that factors stuff a lot too. Is what I think.
Well, I think there's a bunch of beauties in there. And then they're going to have a couple brains with them. They can talk to them and be like, hey, you guys, you really should not be giving this money to those people that haven't really played. Like, they're easily, no offense, they're easily influenced. So
yeah, that's the one thing that makes me happy that Tasha was sent to jury this week, because Tasha can make sure that they're starting to think smart now. Because if the beauties are already like, oh, we hate all the good game players, we're going to vote for everyone else, Tasha will be able to be like, listen, guys, I'm smarter than you. Just listen to what I'm saying. You guys are cute, but just follow my lead. So hopefully Tasha does well in jury. I'm excited that she's there.
Yeah, I am excited. I kind of wanted Tasha to go all the way, but I completely agree. I'm excited that she is there to hopefully push this jury more in the right direction. Melissa, any final thoughts of anything from this episode or this season that you want to talk about?
Oh, no, it's been a really good season. I think it's been probably one of the better seasons of Survivor out of all of them. And I've watched them all, so I really have enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think it far and away is, because I'm not, I like Survivor, but I'm not super big Survivor fan, but I loved the strategy behind this season. This episode I felt was boring, but I say that based on how amazing some of those other episodes were, so I definitely am loving Survivor this season, 100%. Well, I guess then that is going to wrap up our show for this week, unless there's anything else you guys want to talk about. Steve, anything?
I just think next week is going to be like basically called Tony's Choice, where he's going to use both idols and he's going to be the sole decider of who goes home. Hoping it doesn't happen, hoping someone that he wants to go home wins immunity. But next week, look forward to probably another boring episode in which Tony just runs ship.
Yeah, I completely agree. You guys comment below on the edited version of this show. Let us know what you think. I'm sorry I can't bring up any of your questions. It's frozen. I know, Melissa, I think we're just having some technically difficulties Google is clearly having today. But make sure you tune in later tonight. Melissa will be back on with John for a special show with Dylan, 8-Bit Homo on Twitter. Steve, what is going on with you? Anything new and exciting? Can we help support you in any way? Are you doing any fundraising stuff right now? That's over.
Not doing anything fundraising wise. Just follow me at OW Steve DiCarlo. I definitely talk all about like the whatever causes I'm supporting, or if I'm doing any sort of shows or recaps, anything like that. So just follow me and I'll keep you guys updated.
Perfect, and the links to all Steve's stuff will be below this video. And of course, Big Brother 16 is starting in like 42 days. Steve will be back. We're not exactly sure how yet. We have to make it through Survivor and Amazing Race, but we want Steve on our Big Brother recaps with us, so tune in. I'm sure JR will be here too. A lot of people, a lot of stuff for Big Brother for you guys this season. Of course, we're going to be live streaming the premiere party from New York City. A ton of stuff, but more on that soon. So make sure you buy the live feeds from us is the moral of that story, because it keeps bringing us stuff for you guys. Melissa, tell the people where they can find you one more time and all your stuff.
All right, I'm at The Dolphin Poet on Twitter. Read my Survivor blogs, my Amazing Race blogs. Go, if you haven't watched King of the Nerds, watch the show, read my blogs. I gotta do a lot of stuff with that. And yeah, tune in tonight for me and John and Dylan. It'll be a really fun time. We're all looking forward to it. And yeah, that's all I got.
Perfect, and that is 10 p.m. Eastern time tonight for their show, and it'll be at yourrealityrecaps.com/live show or wherever you're watching this right now. So until later tonight, we will see you guys all soon. Steve, thank you so much for stopping in. We love having you.